So we will talk about the collection today, but before starting the collection, let's first understand the concept of box and unbox. So boxing and unboxing is something where you are storing your value type into the reference type or object type and object type back to the value type. Say an example, I have integer my int and it has a value 25, right? So now what is integer? Integer is a value type, right? And now I want to store it into an object. So remember that object is the base class for value type and reference type. So I can convert this uh, into the object type. So if I say object, so box int equals to my int. So boxing can be formally defined as the process of explicitly assigning the value to the system dot object. Okay, so that is called boxing. So when we box a value, the CLR allocates a new object on the heap and copies the value type's value, in this case this my int 25, right, into that instance. Now what is returned to us is a reference type. So because object is a reference type to the newly allocated heap based object. And if we use the technique which basically we don't need to use the set of wrapper classes to treat the stack data temporarily as a heap allocated objects. Now the opposite operation means now box type to integer type, that we called unboxing. So unboxing is a process converting the value held in the object reference back to the corresponding value type. So in this case, box int I want to convert back to the my integer. So what will happen, that the CLR begins by verifying the receiving data type into equivalent box type, and it copies the value back to the stack based variable, because the value type, they stores the value into the stack, and reference types, they store the value in the reference in the heap. So now in this example, this is called boxing. And again, if you want to unbox it, now what we need to do, say I will take one more variable. I say integer unbox. I will call it integer equals to int boxed integer. So this process is unboxing. So in unboxing, what is happening? That we are converting object, which is a reference type, to the integer type again. So whenever there is a value which is stored into the object, then whenever there is a value stored into an object and you want to store back into the value type, you have to follow this box and unbox process. Now, same thing, we will talk about the array list. So let me comment this. This unboxing or this conversion we also call the casting. To cast one variable to another data type is called the, in this case, object to integer. So we are doing the casting. Now there is a namespace called system.collection. So system.collection is where our collections are available. Collection is nothing but the collection of same data type or the object data type. So let us start with the array list. So if I say array list, so array list is a class. So if I right click on this and go to definition, so you can see array list, which is inherited from the I collections and I enumerable. So if you remember in our last lecture, we discussed about the I enumerable, which helps us for the for each loop. And I collection. Actually, in the collection hierarchy, means the if you want to make a class as a collection class, we need to get inherited from the I collection. So I collection and I enumerables are very important for it. The reason is that because we need to use a for each loop and I collection to make a array list as collection. So if I go over here, array list ARR equals to new array list. And the namespace required for this is the system.collection. Now I'm saying array list dot add, and I want to add some value. So I can store any type of value into the array list. The reason is that array list is storing object data type. So if you see here, to store any type, so this is integer, I need not to have the casting. So I just simply assign that value into the object type. So value stored into the array list is object type. So if you want to store more values, you can store array dot add to array dot add 3. Okay. So we have seen array also. In the array, we can store the collection of elements, but array and array list, the main difference is array list is dynamic in nature. You can add the records, whereas array, we need to give a size. We need to tell that, okay, this is of this much length, but in ArrayList it is not like that. So if I want to print the capacity of ArrayList here, so I say capacity of ArrayList equals to ARR dot capacity. So it gives me the capacity. And now if I want to print all the elements, so I'll say for each, so because this is object type, object s n ar. Okay, console dot write line s. So if capacity if I print, and after that I'm saying console dot write line elements in the list are. So let me run it. So you can see capacity is 4 and the elements of the list are 1, 2, 3. I want to see the count also. So if I say console dot write line count of array list equals to 0. So here what I will do, ARR dot count. So if I print this, so it says there are 3 elements in it. Now what I want to do here, I want to insert an element. I want to insert an element at second position. So I will say array dot insert index 0, 1. What value I want to insert? Say I want to insert, or at 0th position, I want to insert 0. So that will insert the element at the 0th location. So now you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, the element. I want to remove an element. So I'll say array dot remove. So I want to remove at index 0, 1, 2, 3, third position. So you can see now 3 is removed. Okay. So these kind of operations we can do with the array list, which is a collection. It is not necessarily I can store here A, B. So I can store any type because it's an object. So if I run it again, so you can see 0 ABC. ABC was stored earlier, then I used insert at 0 0. So it is stored 0 at the 0th position index. Then I said remove at 3 means 0 0 1 2 and 3 is C. So it removed it and it printed. So even we can use the sort also. So array.sort is nothing but sorting the elements. So if I say arr equals to arr.sort, I think okay. So okay, we need not to have the equal to here, sorry. Okay, array.sort. So it is a method in the array list which is sorting the elements. So if I print it, so because it is same, so let me put it here, say 3, here 1, and here 2. So now you can see it is in the sorting order 0, 1, and 3. 2 is removed because we said remove at 3. After that we did the sort. So the main problem with the array list is the type safety. As I told you, in the array list, every element is an object. Say an example, if I want to say s plus 1. So if I want to print s plus 1, I'm supposed to get 3 plus 1, 4, 1 plus 1, 2, and so on. So there is an error. So what is that error? The error is saying plus operator cannot be applied to the object type and integer type. So mean to say it is saying S is an object. Why it is an object? Because in array list we have the object elements. So let me convert it into int s. Okay, and now let me run it or compile it. See, there is an error came up. The error is saying that it cannot convert the invalid exception, right? So it is saying the specified cast is not valid. What cast it is talking about? S plus 1. As I said, because it is all the elements are in the array list are object, let me convert it into the integer. So it is saying no, you cannot do this. The specified cast is not valid. So type safety is a problem. Even though I am having the numeric value, but it is not allowing me to do this. So what I need to, how to achieve that? For that, I need to use this concept, boxing and unboxing. So what I need to do here, int s plus 1. Okay, so now let us see. So what we can do here, because these are the string, so we need to convert it into the integer. That is why it is not doing the casting. So that is the problem of the type safety. So now I need to convert it into the integers. Now if I write the same code, console.write +1, now we can see that there is a plus happen. So because it is sorted, so 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, and 3 plus 1 4. So but there is an extra efforts compiler has to do or CLR has to do to convert the object into the integer, because by default it is stored in the form of object. So let us see how that we can solve this problem, means without the array list. So let me remove all this and have a new namespace called using system dot collection dot generic namespace. So it has some generic collections where we can store any type of data, and that is a specified type. For example, if this is list and we can pass the template here, and template is nothing but the data type. If I am saying I want to create a list or collection of integer types, if I say my ints equals to new list of integer data type. Okay. So in this list now you can store only the integer values. You cannot store the other object or string type values, right? So I can write here my ints dot add, same way as we were doing for the integer, but now it will accept only the integer values. Int, you can see int item. So I'm storing here 3, my int dot add, say 5, dot add 7. Now if I go to this list class, so list class is a collection, right, which is under the system dot collection dot generic namespace. And if I go to its definition, so you can see it is also inherited with the I collection, I enumerable, I list, right? So but this T indicates the template. So template means it can be of any type, any data type. Like in my example, I am using integer. So it could be string, it could be a user defined data type like class or structure. So it could be any type, class or structure. So here I will go for each int n in my ints. So if I say console.writeLine println, so it should print all the elements 3, 5, 7. So if I say n plus 1, so without any problem it should print the plus 1 because all are the integers. Same way, if you want to define your own class, so say I have a class student which has some properties, say int, I'll make it public int age and public string name. So that also I can take because it can take any data type. So I'll say list of student, I call it students, equals to new student, new list of students, not news. So new list of students. Now I'll create an object of student class. I say student equals to student s equals to new student, okay, and s dot age equals to say 30, s dot name equals to 50. Oh, sorry, some name. So test. I think we already have a class student, that's why it is giving the issue. So let me create student 1. Okay. Now what I will do, I will add this into the students class. Students dot add s. So I will add that s into the. So now in my student list, I have one element. So mean to say here, this is the list which is of student type, and now it is a specific to the students only. It is not for the other data type like integer or string. So it is for the student data type, and I can store the so now it will have the collection of the students. So same way, if you want to add one more student, so again create an object of student1 class, say s1 equals to new student1, and we can write s1 dot age equals to say 20, and s1 dot name equals to test1. And now I can add students dot add s1. Now I will use for each loop for each student1, say s2 in students. So if I want to print console.writeLine name equals to 0, comma age equals to 1, comma s2 dot name, comma, s2 dot age. So let me run this. So now you can see this collection student is having two objects. One is name test and another is test1. And with the help of for each loop we are able to print it.